Berlin, 1943. The war had turned. The early triumphs that once intoxicated the German command had collapsed into attrition, ruin, and whispers of inevitable defeat. In dimly lit rooms thick with cigarette smoke and dread, senior officers began confronting an unthinkable conclusion. Germany's greatest threat was no longer external, but embodied in one man, Adolf Hitler. Officers such as Henning von Tresckow concluded that obedience had become complicity. Resistance was no longer treason, it was redemption. Into this dangerous circle stepped Claus von Stauffenberg, aristocratic, wounded in combat, and fiercely resolute. His injuries had taken an eye and a hand, yet sharpened his purpose. Meetings occurred in locked doors. Maps were spread across tables, alongside coded lists of loyal officers. The conspirators understood the stakes. Failure meant torture, execution, and the destruction of their families. A contingency plan designed to suppress internal unrest became the conspirators' weapon. Stauffenberg accepted the role none wished to carry: assassin. His proximity to Hitler during military briefings offered a rare opportunity, but proximity also meant intimacy with danger. Guards, suspicion, and the unpredictable movements of a dictator increasingly isolated and paranoid. July 20th, 1944, as Stauffenberg arrived at Hitler's headquarters in East Prussia. Security felt routine, almost complacent. A briefcase containing explosives, silent, patient, final. The briefing room. Stauffenberg armed the bomb with trembling precision, placed the briefcase beside Hitler, and excused himself under the pretext of a phone call. Time slowed into unbearable seconds. The explosion tore through the room with violent force. Wood splintered, windows shattered, smoke and confusion swallowed the headquarters. For a brief, electrifying moment, the conspirators believed history had changed, that tyranny had ended in a flash of heat and sound. But chance intervened. A heavy table leg deflected the blast. The open windows dissipated the pressure. Hitler survived. Berlin descended into chaos. Once confirmation of Hitler's survival reached loyalists, the fragile rebellion collapsed. Arrests followed swiftly. Executions were brutal and public. The resistance was crushed, and the war continued, grinding across cities, villages, and battlefields for months that felt like years. The failure of that single briefcase meant prolonged devastation, millions more lives consumed by a conflict that might have ended sooner.